Hey, shalom, shalom to all who is out here and gonna partake in this video. Okay, first let me give my shout outs to. I'd like to shout out to my nephew Jody, his beautiful wife Renee. Hey, see, okay. I'd like to give a shout out to my son Logan, who may partake in this video. To all the Mercy Way people. To my wife, well, she's here, she know. But first, before I go deep into anything, let me first do this. Oh Heavenly Father, we give thee the honor and all the praise. Whatever we say in this video, Father, let it come from you and not from me. Let me decrease while you increase. Whatever you have me to say for the 30 minutes, Father, we say with clear heart and clear mind, accept whatever you say. So, we ask you to bless it, and bless whoever listen, and bless whoever take in, and bless whoever hear to. We ask you to bless them. All in the name of Emmanuel, our Hamashiach, we say amen and amen. Now I know y'all have heard words and stuff that you're not familiar with. Well, there's a lot that's going to be said, and we starting a series. So you who want to tune in and check out the series, fine. You who look at me and say, psst, fine. But right now, all I'm doing is what the Father tells me to do. Brother Gwendale, I forgot to shout out to you. You and your lovely wife continue to do the work. What y'all doing? Let no man despise your work. Continue to broadcast and give what you give. I just want to tell y'all something real quick. Like, that right there is a good book to read. I read it, and it had a lot of interesting things in there concerning us. First, let me bring you up to speed. This series is going to be called The Second Beginning. And because I said the second beginning is because from Adam to Noah, everything was destroyed in the flood. You know, only 8 souls came out of that flood. Only 8. Noah and his wife, his 3 sons and their wives. And this is where we are going to start. This is why we say it's the second beginning. Everybody would take you back to Moses and take you to Israel or Jacob, but none of them realized that they start in an area that if you don't know the beginning from that area, you can really error in that area. All right, telephone, hush up. I didn't know you was over here. You can really error in that area. So, we're sorry. One phone, and here we're sitting with the other phone, and you know, we doing all kinds of studies in here. So, when you start in that era of Moses, you is stereotyping a movement to give your movement, as you could say, life or accountability. Because everybody will start with Moses, and then they'll go with the Mosaic law, and then they'll hang there and teach you the laws and teach you this of the Old Testament, and they would say, this is what you got to do. But they don't realize that the Mosaic law came about because Moses asked the Father to place Aaron as the high priest. Now Moses asked this, and that Aaron became the high priest. But if you notice when you read it in your King James Version, that after Aaron made the calf, the golden calf, there was not too much more said about Aaron. And his sons was totally rejected because they burned incense that wasn't of the qualification. It's a strange incense. So the Levite line, if you go look in your Bibles, it would tell you once the Levites was a priesthood who didn't inherit any of the land. But after Jacob blessed Joseph 2 grandsons and Dan was eliminated, the Levites came in and Joseph 2 grandsons got inheritance. This is why the people, or you can say the line of Joseph, ain't talking about you, Jody, but your name is Joseph, but the line of Joseph still to this day fight with the line of David. So you'll understand what these two lines is. But first things first, let us go to the beginning. And the beginning starts with these 4 people. You got Noah, his son Shem, his son Jephthah, his son Ham. These 4 plays the very important part of what you're about to get. This is why it's called the second beginning, because it begins with these 4. And I'll repeat the 4 again. Noah, Shem, Jephthah, or Japheth, if they want to call it, if you want to get all proper, it's Japheth, and Ham. Now, let's go to Genesis chapter 10. See? Oh, you can't see it. And I'm going to read it from your King James Version because most of you is still in King James. Okay, I hear you. Let me address this right now. Many of you Christians who've been taught about jewelry, who you say don't supposed to wear jewelry. First, let me establish and let you know. I pastored in the Christian community for many of years. I held my own building. I worked through the Father, just like everybody else said. I taught people, just like every other pastor did. I studied up under a great man. First, let me give honor and respect to him. Elder Lee Bell Ross. If Ella Gurley let you listen or give you this video, this is from me to you. Man, you have taught me so much. All the foundation that you laid, I tell you this with all honors. May the Father, Yah, bless you continuously. And you teach the level that you're teaching on. Because you introduce a lot of people to serving the Most High. And I want to thank you for that. Ella Liddell Ross, where I don't know if he's Bishop Liddell Ross or whatnot, because I have lost communication with a lot of the people in Darlington. So that's not their fault, that's my fault. But getting back, I say that to say this. I had the best of 4 worlds. I was a sinner to start with. So I had the best of the natural world. Then we came into holiness, where Bishop C.L. Johnson introduced us, and we was holiness. Then Ella Ross, hey, great man, introduced me to apostolic. And we studied and learned from the world, holiness, apostolic. But this is the important part of all. During my years of apostolic, my ministry took a drastic turn where most of the people who was in apostolic didn't understand it, because it was way before what was being given, because what I was being taught then, I was being taught by the Father himself. So right now I'm just giving you background and history on who I am. These are for the new ones and for the old ones, to show my credibility of what I'm introducing to you, to show that, hey, the Father been dealing with me for a long time. I'm no better than nobody else. I'm no holier than nobody else. I'm no savior than anybody else. But he have took me through these 3, the world, holiness, apostolic. He brought me to something that nobody ever understood. We spoke about it, but we never understood it. And that is called being set apart. To be set apart means to be prepared for the Master's use. I have to say this. No man taught me from apostolic on. It was just me and the Father. And right till this day, I has no leader, I has no overseer, I has none of that. I am affiliated with none of y'all religion, not even this new mess that came up, black Hebraism or black Israelite, or however you want to call yourself. Because number one, black is a color, not a people. Have you noticed you done went from so many different names, because why? Nobody understand or know who you are. Nobody knows who you are because your identity been hidden. And it been hidden on purpose. This is what the second beginning is all about. Giving you your identities back. Now, whether you want to accept it because of your Geo-Christianity, that's you. Whether you want to reject it because of your Geo-Christianity, that's still you. All I can do is say, whatever I'm giving in these series, don't take my word for it. Do the research. That's why it's a study to show yourself approved. A workman needed not to be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. And that's out the King James Version. I need you to really take what I'm giving in these series want you to research it on your own. But as it's getting back to time, and I only got like 20 more minutes to just give you this, because these series is going to be straight, short, and to the point. But I have to lay the foundation first so you understand why and what. Set apart is a people. Now, when you start studying in my later series, you'll understand the northern tribe and the southern tribe. You will understand that Israel and Judah is two different, as you could say, parts of being an Israelite. One part is made of 10 tribes, and the other part is made of 2 tribes. Judah and Benjamin makes up the south, and the rest, 10 tribes, makes up the north. You will find out that when you understand, first here, before I get into all that, first let me give you why all this took place. Go with me to Genesis, the 10th chapter. Matter of fact, let me go back to the 9th chapter, if that's all right. Let's go back to the 9th chapter. Okay. You see, I'm doing the thing on the phone. We're going to Genesis 9. And we're doing the King James Version. Boom. Genesis 9. And I want you to come all the way down to the 21st verse. Genesis 9 and 24. And it reads as following. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his youngest son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servant shall he be unto his brethren. Now, let's first look at that. You was taught that because you was black, it was because of the curse of Ham. Number one, and this is why I told you in the video, number one, what you was taught don't add up either to the book or to history. Canaan was cursed, who was the son of Ham, not Ham. So that whole understanding of being black comes from Ham is false. Number two, you was taught that you was Gentiles. I can show you where that was wrong. As we read a little bit further, I can't just leave you on that. That was verse 25. Verse 26, and it said, and he said, Blessed be you. You read Lord, but I don't say Lord. I don't say God. I don't use them words because I serve a Hebrew Elohim. So, if you don't mind, let me use my Hebrew terminology. And you understand when I say Elohim, I'm speaking of the same thing when you say Lord or God. It said, Blessed be the Elohim of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Elohim shall enlarge Jephthah, or Japheth, if you want to use the terminology, Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Then it said, and Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Boom. He died. Now I need you to go over to the next chapter. And this is where it's going to get important. Genesis 10, it says, now these are the generation of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them was the sons born after the flood. I want you to come on, because we ain't going to get no farther than verse 5 on this one. And the sons of Japheth was Gomer, Magog, Madai, Jathan, Tubal, Nesol, Teres. If I'm saying it right, if I'm butchering the names, all y'all theologians and whatnot, hey, read Genesis 10, and these are the people, okay? And the sons of Gomer was Asnek, which you know, these are the Asnek Jews that's in, Israel right now. Come on. Rephi, Tegmai, Tamag. And the sons of Japheth was Elisha, Tisha, Kittim, Dorman. Now this is the part that finishes the story where it says, you are Gentiles. And these are the isles of the Gentiles, divided into their land, every one after his own tongue, according to their own family, into their own nations. So, if you are a Gentile, then that must mean you is one of the sons of Japheth, right? I didn't wrote it. I didn't. I mean, oh, come on. But you was taught you was a descendant of Ham. But that ain't true either. But that's for the next lesson. All I can do is give you what I'm showing. You're not a descendant of Ham. You're definitely not a descendant of Japheth. Because Japheth says they is the Gentiles. Now my question is this to all y'all. You don't get this in Sunday school, trust me. You won't get this in your local assembly, trust me. If Japheth is the Gentiles, well, his name is first, and let me get it right. The sons of Japheth, verse 2, says his name is first. Let's go with him first. And the plot thickens. Listen to this. Y'all of the Gentiles. You remember Nebuchadnezzar, who had a dream. And his dream was of a tall statue. And this statue had a head of gold. I mean, I'm the head. Had arms of silver. Chest of silver. From the waist down to the legs, was brass. From the legs on down was iron. And then the toes, then the toes was mixed with iron and clay. We're going to get to head, chest and arms, legs. We're going to get to that. But since we're dealing with Japheth, let's show you that these 10 toes mixed with clay and iron, what they really are. You remember in your history class, they used to teach you about the 10 Germanic tribes. You know, the 10 tribes that came and conquered and blew Rome out the water. These were the sons of Japheth. These tribes blew up everything. Do y'all remember whenever they called Cyrus the Great Y'all know him because he was the one of the Medes and Persians, right? Guess who Cyrus was? In the line of Japheth. Let me help you out. Guess who Nebuchadnezzar was? He was the king of Babylonian, right? Right? And Babylonian was in Africa, right? Right? Noah curse said that the son of Ham, which is Canaan, will serve Japheth and Shem. Guess who Nebuchadnezzar was? Ham. And guess who came and made all the servants of Ham their servant? Japheth. Because the Medes and the Persians took over Rome, took over Babylon. And from that point on, Japheth will begin to be a very powerful individual. But, you won't believe me. So, hey, let's go a little further. Let's go to, I'm on my phone. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus 11. Go. There you go. And we're going to go to verse 7. Listen. Exodus 11 and 7, which shows the difference between Shem and Ham. Since everybody's saying that, you're a Hamite, when you really is a Shemite, let's show the difference. Verse 7, but if you want to read from 1, read is at Exodus 11. If you want to read from 11 to 7, that's fine. But I got to go to 7 because my time is getting close. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how Elohim, or as you will read, Lord, do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Now my question is this. The Egyptians came from the Cush generation dynasty, right? The Cushites, so Kemet, as you want to call yourselves. Israel, which is of the 10 northern tribes. A lot of y'all don't realize who the 10 northern tribe line is. So let me bring you up to speed. Who, can I get a drink? Thank you, I surely can. Who came and defeated Nebuchadnezzar? The Medes and the Persians, right? And the Medes and the Persians came from who? Y'all know? Okay, let me help you out. Everybody in the line of Japheth, when you heard the land of the Gentiles, or the Isles of the Gentiles, everybody from that line is descendants of Greece and Rome. So all y'all Roman Catholics, y'all understand. Is descendants of Greece and Rome. The Medes and the Persians is Greece. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Because the Medes and the Persians joined together to beat Babylon. Guess what Rome was? Japheth. Guess who Greece is? Japheth descendants. So my question is this, to all y'all scholars. Watch this. Watch this. To all y'all scholars, Moses is who? I'm throwing a curve in on you right now. Moses is who? Well, who is Pharaoh? Moses told Pharaoh, says everybody stop with this, to let my people go. Who is that? Well, we know Pharaoh was Egypt, so he is in the line of Cush, meaning Ham, right? So who is Moses? Oh, you said Moses was a Hebrew, right? Israelite indeed, huh? Don't get it mixed up. Before the split, Israel was all 12. So when you say Israelite, you got to include Moses. And the Israelite was Shem. Until the split. When you read and understand what Noah said, that Japheth will dwell in the tents of Shem. But a lot of y'all, when you're doing your reading, you only read the book. You don't study the book. You don't know the history of the book because you don't do nothing but just read that one book. And I'm sorry to tell you, I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger. I want you to listen at this. Okay, now we know the second beginning is, okay, before I get to that, truth be told. We know and been taught. And everything you've been taught, just finna smoke you. Everything you've been taught is from the line of Japheth. Not your Shemite line, not your Hamite line, but from the line of Japheth. Because why? He is in the tent of Shem right now. All your teachings, whenever you read the New Testament, all that Greek, that's Japheth. When you go back, Daniel and some books, Ezra, was written in Aramaic in the Old Testament. And the reason why it was written in Aramaic is because Aramaic replaced the language of Hebrew. Everybody talking about, I'm speaking Hebrew. No, you're not. No, you're not. Hebrew was a written language that the priests hold on. I'm getting before myself. Yeah, come on. Your teaching is from Jacob. Greek and Roman translations from what they say is Hebrew. But notice, in the year 70 AD, if your mind can go back, just when they ransacked and burnt Jerusalem. But in 135 AD, Hebrew was never spoken again. It is the pure state that in the time of, you call him Jesus, but I say Emmanuel, the language was Aramaic. Now my question is this: how much do you know about the Aramaic language? Okay, listen. Daniel and Ezra are written in Aramaic, I told you. At this time of Emmanuel, which you call Jesus, Aramaic was used by the common people, peasants, beggars, street vendors, everybody who wasn't in the king's or government or Pharisees or Sadducees. Wait a minute, I'm going to show you something very extraordinary, but it may be in the next one. But listen, Hebrew was used by the government and the upper class, and that the language died in 1650 CE. So if the language died in 650 CE, and when it was replaced by Arabic, well, Aramaic, which Aramaic was replaced by Arabic. So, you know, when you say I'm speaking Hebrew, are you really? Because when you realize Hebrew was read from left to right, we read words from right to left. So if Hebrew is read from left to right, how whenever you use this thing that you say Y, H, most of y'all know WH at the tetragram, that's supposed to give you a name of where y'all done played and got it. Y'all got about 2 more minutes, 40 minutes to be up, and I got to go. But I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Study. Because Hebrew was still written as a spiritual resistance by the remaining Israelites that remained. By the turn of the 2nd century, Aramaic replaced the language in North Africa, which today is the Middle East. Now here, let me give you a little bit of eye-opener. You know the Suez Canal, don't you? Y'all familiar with that man-made waterway that they say, you know, links Asia to the sea? Is it Caspian or Black Sea, one of the two? Which that was a lie that was perpetrated. I'm going to give you some numbers. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a little homework and see what you come up with. Write this down. 1917, November the 2nd. Put a dash. 1948, Palestine. Under that, I want you to write Red Shield. This is what I want you to type in your browser. I want you to listen to me closely. Kaiser is spelled K-H-A-Z-A-R. Lie. L-I-E. I'm going to say it again. Kaiser line, and I'm going to spell it for you one more time. K-H-A-Z-A-R-L-I-E. Then also type and the Jewish Satanists. And the Jewish Satanists. I don't have to spell Jewish or Satanist to you. You should know how to spell it. And then type, as you finish typing, the Rothschilds family. That's R-O-T-H-S-C-H-I-L-D-S. Here it goes again. R-O-T-H-S-C-H-I-L-D-S. Family. And you tell me what you get. I'm leaving you at that. I'm going to give you a lot of shalom to all. And this is the end of this series. Shalom.